Welcome to Whining About Real Estate. This is our initial podcast where we're going to be talking about real estate and enjoying some great wine.
Cheers.
Cheers. Today, this is a nice bottle from Del Dotto, which we enjoyed recently up in Napa. And we want to thank them for their beautiful wine. It's delicious.
Del Blotto?
Yes, we are Del Blotto. Anyway, we're here. We're going to be talking some no fluff, authentic conversations, combining our 48 years of top producing real estate experience. I want you to grab some wine yourself and let's talk about proven strategies, confident action steps, current local markets, and all you'll need to embark on your path to using real estate as a tool to financial freedom.
As a father-daughter team, we're committed to helping you build legacies, build wealth, and promoting good in the world. Now let's talk about wine and some real estate.
Awesome job. So let's talk about market conditions first.
So how's the market?
Well, as everybody probably knows, the market is freaking on fire, with a huge opportunity for sellers to take advantage of a tremendous, strong market for them. And the downside of that, of course, is buyers have to compete to get into a property. Let me talk about some market statistics just currently through yesterday. And we're using March 22nd as our, because I think it's important, when we're actually starting this recording.
And real quick, just because I know we're going to be really famous and it's not going to be super hyper local. So what areas are we talking about?
So for the rest of the world, we are in Santa Clara County, California. And currently there's 1,043 homes for sale actively on the multiple listing service, which includes condos, single families, and townhomes. And there are approximately 1,575 homes, condos, townhomes included, that are in contract. Month to date, so from March 1st till March 22nd, we have sold 969 properties in our county. And that includes, again, all single families, condos, and townhomes. And what's really kind of crazy is that the average sales price for those homes is $1,876,000. Yeah. What's even crazier is that's 115% over what the asking price was on average. Nuts. But, it's great for sellers and 10 days on market. That's the average. So let's list your home and let's get it sold in a week. So we ourselves have experienced some tremendous interest and struggles trying to get our buyers into contracts, but getting our sellers as well. Our most recent listing, 21 offers.
Yeah.
And what did it go for over asking?
300,000 over.
Yeah. And, that means that there was 20 people that didn't get that house.
Very sad people that didn't get that.
And what's really crazy is those 20 people, they were all strong offers.
Yeah.
They really put their best foot forward. A lot of people who were first-time home buyers that, were doing their best to get into that property. And, you feel crappy for them. I
Right.
do, because there's 20 of them that are still out there looking for homes.
I like to use that example of the current reel that's out where the lady's jogging on the treadmill to the wine. There's beautiful properties out there and you're just trying to get to it. And
Yeah.
only one can though. So
Yeah. And your most recent buyer, how many times did we try to get them in contract?
7.
7 times.
Yeah.
7 times. And we were bidding $400,000 and $500,000 and $600,000 over asking price for this particular client, which, in a lot of places in this country, that's more than they'll pay for a house. I think the average home price right now in the United States is like $340,000 or $45,000.
Right.
And we're bidding twice that
Right.
over the asking price to try to get our client a house. Now, thankfully, we're in contract and they're going to be closing shortly and enjoy their wonderful home.
The struggle with that is how aggressive we are in the search process for our buyers. Luckily, we've put our time into this market, multiple markets, obviously with our combined years within the business. We adjust our strategies based on the markets. So, we're very aggressive in our approach and proactive in making sure that we find properties for our buyers. And even with that being said, we're at 7 offers before we got it. I can only imagine the struggle on newer agents.
Yeah, it's tough.
That aren't as familiar with the industry
or have the relationships.
Right.
We have relationships with hundreds and hundreds of our local realtors that we've known for many, many years and share information with and share what's coming up and what's not coming up and, what it's going to take to get into a property. It's just, I mean, in our business, as much as, the internet has impacted how people buy real estate, it still comes down to relationships, not
Absolutely.
just with our clients, but with the people that we do business with as well.
Right. Well, just like we do on our listing side, we want to make sure that we're helping our sellers choose the best, not only the best offer, but also the cleanest, the most successful for closing. So, on the same side with the buyer's agents, we have a proven system of closing our transactions and doing good business for a long period of time, which really helps us to get into contract.
Yeah.
But definitely, it's a tough run. If you say, how you doing in the market right now? It depends what side of the fence you're on. If you're a buyer, you're probably getting kicked in the teeth a bit. I think clearly educating and going in while knowing what's going to happen and knowing that you're probably not going to get the first prop. That's easier said than done. We all get, emotionally attached to a property. That's
No
why you're
doubt.
willing to put your best foot forward, is because you can see yourself living in that space and you've already pictured your kids there or whatever it may be. You've driven past the home 77 times.
Right.
It's hard not to get emotionally attached, but you have to realize that the odds of you getting in a contract are probably slimmer.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's just setting realistic expectations up front. I think that's the most important thing, and kind of tempering what the buyer hopes is going to happen.
Right.
Okay, we'd love to have that happen. However,
Right.
this is more likely to happen, especially with how competitive things are and how much cash is in the marketplace. And cash doesn't mean a whole lot to us as agents, because a seller doesn't get a loan; they get all the cash at the end of the day.
Right.
So a lot of times people think, oh, I've got a cash offer, and that makes it more strong than anything else. Well, if our buyers, which they always are, fully underwritten, fully approved, that's cash. That's just like
And
cash.
tip most of the time that I've seen is when a cash offer comes in, they're trying to get a deal.
Hmm.
So it's, they're not always the most competitive offer out there. They're trying to whittle the dollar amount down because they know that the seller is going to see a sure shot, can close in, under a
A
week.
quicker close.
Yeah. So they're taking the gamble on that with the cash. And that's not always the best case scenario. A lot of times it's clean and green and who can provide the best.
Yeah. Well, the number that people pay for the house is just one of the features of the offer. I talk all the time to all of our clients about its terms. So it's not just what they're paying for it. It's, what other terms are involved. Now, certainly a quick close helps a lot of people, but not all. Not all sellers are interested in getting out of their house in 7 days or 14
Right.
days. They have to find a place to live too, and or they have time to move. So
Right.
a fast close is not always the
Yeah.
most important thing to a client.
Yeah. We just wrote on a fast close. And actually the seller was like, well, can we have 5 more days? Like, that's great. Like, people,
We can't get out
yeah,
that quick.
we need
Yeah,
boxes.
we have to move. Yeah.
So really finding out what the seller's needs are too is a huge part of
Mhm.
determining what your offer is going to be.
Yeah, and that goes back to the relationships and talking to the agent that is listing the property for the seller, and or the agents that are buyers agents that are coming to us on our listings. That's where that relationship thing comes really, really into play,
Yeah.
I think. And geez, we're well liked. Every agent loves us. More than likely her, because I'm kind of grumpy. So anyway, so on our this podcast, we're hoping to be able to bring lots of topics that we can enjoy with you and share with you, as well as looking for feedback from you, our listeners, our viewers, as to what exactly you want to hear from us. Questions that you'd like to have answered, topics you'd like to hear about. And we've got a whole list of topics, and I'm going to go to my list because I am old. We're talking about different things we'd love to talk about in here, and also bring in guests that can talk to some of these subjects. Like, for example, on trust and probates. We've got some great trust and probate attorney partners that we'd like to bring in and talk to everyone about what's important about having a trust, and what's important if you don't have a trust, what it takes to go through a probate. Oh my gosh, it's just so much, so important to be able to hear what options you have in that area. Buying in today's market, we're kind of touching on that today. Selling in 2022 and maybe beyond, what's important to timing the market. And we've got,
Yeah, because I think that there's going to be a big conversation on people that are looking to sell within the next 2 years versus the next, 6+ years.
yeah.
And there's a gap in kind of figuring out your goals too. So it's never too early to be planning
Right.
what you think you're going to do.
Yeah, the hardest part with that is that we get the question a lot is, what's the market going to do? Well, I could tell you what it's going to do today, and I could tell you what it's probably going to do 2 to 3 months. I think after that, our crystal ball gets a little cloudy, and I'd love to be able to say, yeah, hang on to your property for 2 more years because you're going to double your value, but none of us know what's going to happen. And that brings up the next topic of interest rates, how that's going to affect the market. We've got all kinds of things that we want to talk about. Interest rates, what goes on behind our transaction, what we do, what our team does, what our partners in our team help us get our how we do things so well, what Catrice adds to the picture, who runs our transaction team. If people are renting right now, why are you renting? Should you be renting? The market, if it's cooling, is the market cooling? I don't know. Is it? Not now, not
No,
today, not
no.
today. You know,
That's
uh,
the water, the noodle strainer. When that fills up is when the market might stop.
yeah, that's great. I like that. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
I didn't
Yeah, but that's a good one.
that's
And
not a
right,
real.
and we go back to earlier. We said there's 1,000 homes for sale. I mean, normal. I go back. Normal. When was normal? I go back 10 years. Normal was like maybe not even 10 years was normal. Well, that was probably mortgage crisis, but like 6,000, 4,000, 3,000 homes. I mean, we haven't seen those kind of numbers in decade. And really, that's really kind of a scary thing for the buyers, and for the sellers. Of course, it's awesome. Prop 19.
Yeah, big one.
That's one that for folks who are inheriting property and also trying to move out of the area. If you have rental property, what it means to leave it to your kids or your heirs, what happens then if they don't move into it. I mean, Prop 19 is great for folks who are leaving the area or trying to take your low Prop 13 tax base with you, but it has some flaws. It has some things that they had to give up to get to that point statewide. So there's some things to talk about. How about retirement living in Santa Clara County? We have a great opportunity out here at the Villages, which is a 55 and older community, which keeps you in close to perhaps your kids, your grandkids, and you can have great private community golf course living. We'll talk about some of that. The life of a realtor. That's when we like to see, what do we do? Not just here.
We are not selling Sunset, I'll tell you that.
Selling sunset.
That show, everyone thinks that our
Oh,
life is now selling
oh,
Sunset.
I don't even know
It's
that.
like
Yeah.
the bougie real
Yeah.
estate, and now everyone wants to get licensed.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really interesting. Everyone thinks it's easy. What we do is easy. We make it look easy. That's the thing. I tell people all the time, a real estate transaction is one of the most complicated, you know, difficult things to maneuver through. And when someone says to someone, "Oh, it's easy to sell your house." Well, yeah, it looks easy when you do it the way we do it.
Yeah, and also all the legal.
Oh, yeah, it just goes on and on. It's funny because when we talk to our sellers, when we talk about what we are going to do for them, I tell them, you're not going to know how good we are until it's over, because you're going to go through it. Wow, that was easy. Yeah, we made it look easy. It's not easy. It's not easy at all, but we certainly do our job well. And I'm not trying just to brag on us. I just know that there's a perception of, you just put a sign on the ground and it sells. Well, it's not quite that way. So much goes on. So much goes on. What else do I have here? The life of a realtor, the renting. I think I don't know. We got all kinds of things.
Oh, ADUs.
Oh,
I think
no,
that's
ADUs.
that's a great one.
That's
Yeah.
really, really important.
ADUs. There's some phenomenal software that we have now too, that if you were to tell us,
Wait, whoa. ADU. What is that? That's an accessory dwelling unit. Yeah. Like a grant.
You didn't prep me for that,
Yeah,
but I knew
that
it.
was good. It's, if you want to put a building behind your property, there's all kinds of opportunities, not just for rental income, but for multi-generational families to stay together.
He might need to put one on his back patio for me.
Yeah, well, that ain't happening. But if I'm going to put it on my back patio, it's going to be for my dog or something. I don't know. But the opportunity to not only just improve the value of your property by doing that, but to create additional housing and everything else. I mean, housing's such a shortage in this town.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And now kids are staying home till 40, so you need to have somewhere to escape
Not
to.
my kids. No way.
I don't know. I might come back.
No, I'll take the grandkids first.
Oh,
So, but we're sure hoping that this becomes an opportunity to connect with a lot of people, not just here in Santa Clara County, but across our state and across our country, and to kind of share our visions.
yeah. And this really came from, at the end of the year, we always review our last year's business, our goals for the new year. We really try to connect with our clients on an individual basis and ask them, what would help them? What would empower them through learning about what we do and what the properties they own, or they're not there yet, but they want to be there because they're currently renting. And most of the people that I connected with said it'd be fun to hear us
Yeah.
on a podcast. So a little bit out of our comfort zone,
Well, for
but
her, not for me.
well, he could be on TV tomorrow. He'd be ready. But, we're excited. We think that we have a lot to bring to the table. We have some fantastic people that have already raised their hands to get on this with us. So we're super excited to bring you guys some really valuable stuff. Don't drink wine if you're listening to us in the car. That's the disclaimer at the bottom.
Yeah,
So we will be drinking wine,
yes.
but don't drink wine if you're driving home from work or something.
Yeah. And it'd be nice if you find us interesting and you find us entertaining, that you share this with your friends and your family so that other people can enjoy what we have and
Absolutely.
how we can share that with you.
Absolutely. So I think,
Not bad.
for our first one, not too
Not
shabby.
bad.
We're going to keep it, short and sweet, no fluff to it.
Yep.
Not a lot of front. Yeah, I was listening to a podcast this morning. I was laughing at all I felt like I needed to buy into the video. Who's that Cash guy?
Oh, I don't remember.
No, the real estate guy.
Oh, the guy on television?
Yeah.
I buy homes guy?
Yeah. We're not that guy.
No. And we're going to do those. We're going to give Joe Rogan a run for his money.
Yeah.
There we go.
I
Let's
like
do
it. I
All
like
right.
it.
Thanks for joining
All
us.
right, guys.
Bye.
Make it a great day till the next time.
See you. Bye.